Hi, welcome back to my channel. So this is Whipping It with Wendy K, and May is the month for mental health. So I currently am sitting down with my good Judy, Miss Chantelle Broughton.
Hello.
And tell us about yourself.
So I'm a licensed master social worker. I also have a nonprofit, Kinfolk Coaching, and one of our focus areas is on mental health in the Black and Brown community. So I'm so excited to sit here and talk to you.
So one of the topics that I feel like we need to talk about is I dealt with suicide. I don't know if you dealt with suicide.
I have, but not like directly.
Right. And then other mental health issues like depression, because I dealt with depression too. So what are some of the tips and things that you would like to just kind of highlight and let us know? Because I did a little research and it was telling me that 4 out of 5 high school students was contemplating suicide.
Yes.
And I'm sitting up there floored because I'm like,
that is alarming.
It's very alarming, but
alarming.
The sad part is it's relevant and it's in our society every day, and we overlook it. So what suggestions do you have, or what tips can you kind of give our youth and our parents?
I think especially for parents, we have to be a little bit more involved and engaged with our children, especially taking an interest in the things that they're interested in. I know growing up, like, my parents didn't share my interests.
Right.
So we didn't really spend quality time with the things that I wanted to do.
Right.
You know, I love to read, so I wasn't reading with my parents.
Right.
They didn't have time to read. You know, they had to
They
work.
was working, right?
And take care of the household. But as parents, we really have to be engaged and involved with the things that our children like, because that's a self-esteem builder.
Right.
When we know that we are interested in something, we have a community of support that's going to rally behind us and the things that we want to do. It's going to make us do well. It's going to encourage us. It's going to hold us accountable to our life.
Yes.
I mean, we really have to be more involved in our children in their day-to-day lives and social media.
Yes. That's a whole nother topic that we would have to really take time to get into.
Yes, we do.
Because you have so many of our youth that are inspired by social media, and their main thing is, I want to be a YouTube star or Instagram star or a Facebook star, and really the bullying is actually happening on social media more so than bullying is happening in the schools, you know. So it's those two attributes that are fighting against
parents,
each other.
check your kids' phones.
But you know what? We didn't have phones back in the day.
We didn't. But my mom would pick up that house
landline
and listen in. Then all of a sudden you just hear her breathing on the other end.
Right. And you knew that conversation had to be legit when they
Pick up your kids' phones, go through it, check their social media. And they may not like you, but you're not there to be your kids' friends. You know?
Right.
Check in on what they're doing. Know their friends.
Right.
You should still be going to meet your kids' friends' parents, no matter how old they are.
And your friends can't stay at nobody's house. We
No,
was just talking about that during lunch. We was like, you know, we were saying during lunch, like, I never spent the night at nobody's house. My mama did not allow that. It was like, you can go for a few minutes, but you need to be in this house when I come pick you up. Yeah, and it was family only.
Family only.
So with that, I think that made us different in how we even went to college and how we conducted ourselves in college too. Because if you didn't have that, you know, what did you have?
You only know what you know. That's it.
Right. Okay, so the next topic, I think that we kind of went over it a little bit when we was having lunch, was how do you take time for yourself? And I know you were saying you're trying to figure out some self days, some me days.
I'm preaching, but I'm not practicing.
And the good part is it's okay.
Yes, it is.
But I told you need to make a schedule. So just having a small conversation with me, what are some of the things that you think you can take away from today's lunch and try to do better with because that's still mental health when you're not taking time for yourself because you get beat down and your body tells you. So what takeaways are you going to take away to try to help with your schedule?
Well, you gave a great point, getting up before the kids. That way you just have time to really plan out your day. You have time to yourself to sit in your thoughts, to meditate or read your Bible or whatever it is that you want to do before the hustle and the bustle of your day and your family gets started. So that's something that I need to do. I'm not a morning person, but I need to be a morning person because the early bird gets the worm.
Exactly.
So I do need to start incorporating that at least if Monday through Friday.
Right.
You know, sleeping maybe on the weekends, but definitely Monday through Friday, getting up before everybody else gets up. That's something I definitely want to incorporate.
One thing I do, I'm gonna go ahead and put the camera on me. One thing I like to do is those days that I currently have off, which is Sunday and Monday, I try to take those days. Okay. If I stay in the bed all day, it's okay because I took that day. And I know that my nail tech Brittany's gonna be a little mad, but I started doing my own nails, and that was my me time with me.
Yeah.
And it was like, I know I want to go back, but I like doing my nails. I like the time that, because it takes me about 2 hours, but I'm sitting there with me, my thoughts. I'm catching up on TV because I don't watch TV. It was just, it's my moment to be like, okay, this is my recharge. Let me go and do something different. So, other thing I think we need to talk about is how are you helping your children when it comes to dealing with and managing mental health issues?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yes. Because, you know, as a parent,
that's a very good one.
We dealing with whatever, and like, I noticed just reading social media, a lot of parents hadn't asked their child how COVID was affecting them. They wasn't asking their child how was not being amongst other students affecting them. And a lot of students have a lot of issues because they were already antisocial. Antisocial.
Just added on to that.
Yeah, it was an extra layer, and now they're really at that point where they're like, I don't want to do anything. I really don't want to leave the house. So as a parent, how are you helping your children deal with mental health issues?
So my kids love to journal.
Oh, yes.
I do read journals. I find out a lot of information. I do read journals. But we have incorporated a lot of family time.
Right.
So Sundays, that's family day. So we always eat together as a big old family on Sundays. But just really spending quality time and asking questions.
Yes.
I don't accept I don't know as an answer. It's not an answer.
Right.
Like, dig a little deeper because you know, how are your friends doing? Well, who are your friends? What do y'all do in school?
And
what do y'all play on recess?
Yeah.
Y'all want to hang out on the weekends? What would y'all like to do? I ask a lot of questions because I want my kids to feel like they have a voice. The days where do as I say, not as I do, they are over.
They're completely over.
They are over.
If you actually think about it,
they never really were in.
Exactly. Like,
sorry, mom and daddy, but you know.
Your parents would be like, don't do as I did, do as I say. And then I'm like, okay, but I have a question. Don't ask me no questions. But how you want me to learn? How you want me to grow? And then I'm going to look at what the community is doing, and I'm going to try to pick up on what the community is doing because that's my teacher now since you don't want to talk to me and tell me. Like, and I keep going back to growing up.
Yes.
And I'm going to say this. Growing up, my mama always told us that if we sit near a boy with our cycle on, we'll get pregnant.
Oh, wow.
It was so the myth, or I guess the scare tactic of not getting pregnant. But my sister kind of was like, after we talked about it, after we both got grown adults and we knew that was this, but my sister talked about it and she was like, I was so death scared because I sat near the guy with my cycle on and I didn't want my mama to find out that I was pregnant.
Right.
And it's like, wow, you know, that impairs how a child looks at life too.
It does.
And so when I did get pregnant at 16, I didn't want to tell my mama, but I had to tell her because I was bringing a whole new life in the world. I couldn't provide. And she took it better than I thought she was going to take it, but I wish I would have had more education on sex, be able to come to her and talk to her about sex, because I held a lot of things in as a child, as a teenager, versus saying, let me go talk to my mom.
Right.
And it was the false information that was given. So as a parent, we have to educate our children.
We do. We have to have those honest conversations.
And I think they have to be younger than be younger than wait until they get older, because
it's too late then. They're already experimenting.
Right. And that's one of the, and a lot of people don't know I have a goddaughter, but that's one of the things that I regret the most about my goddaughter, is because I wasn't able to help and mold her when she was younger, only because I was only the godmom, and it was a disconnect from me and, you know, raising her. But now it's like she wants me to be there, but I don't know how to be there as a godmother, because I'm like, you already are living your life now. All I can do is kind of give you guidance versus...
But that's being there.
Yeah, it's being there, but I know she needs more. And I know she wants more from me, but I don't feel like I can give her more because I know she went through a lot, and I'm not sure how much I am ready to deal with it. And sometimes as a parent,
you have to be honest about that.
Yeah,
you do.
Yeah, because like you tell your child, I don't want you to get pregnant, but at the same time, if your child gets pregnant, you have to deal with that as a parent, and you want to give them the honest answer, but you really in your mind you're not ready to deal with that, so you push it back. So
and that's not good. It's not
right,
healthy at all.
right. So that's why I'm like, as a parent, I don't think as a godparent I wasn't ready, and I'm still not ready to really step in and be like, I need you to do this. I can only give her suggestions, and I fall short on that only because I'm a parent, a godparent, but I will try to do better. But I do give my godson, like, he come to me and we talk, and he be like, auntie such and such and such, and I be like, look, we can't do this right here, you don't need to do this, you need to take this, you need to do this, and he literally takes my advice, and he values it. But I was in his life a little bit longer than I was with my goddaughter, so that's the difference. So tell us about what all you got going on, what all you have coming up, so we can get your handles.
How much time do you have?
You can give us a quick version, and I will put all of your contact information below.
Thank you. So Kinfolk Coaching is hosting a Crown the Brown annual event. It's the first annual event. Miss Wendy Blair will be a guest speaker, and she'll be sharing her experiences and giving a lot of her takeaways as far as how we can impact mental health in the Black and Brown communities. That will be a virtual event held June 19th from 4 to 6 via Zoom. So you can go to kinfolkcoaching.org to get your tickets. We would love to have you there. We'll have, like I said, guest speakers. We'll have giveaways, prizes, all that. And the third is really solution focused. So we're taking some of the problems that we have in the Black and Brown communities, and we're problem solving and providing solutions to our community members, because we all know it takes a village.
It does.
And part of excellent mental health is understanding that you can't do it all. As a parent, as a godparent, aunt, uncle, you can't do everything.
You can't do everything.
So you need your village to have strengths and weaknesses, and to play off of each other's strengths and weaknesses in order to raise these kids as successful as they need to be.
And to be honest, your strengths and weaknesses and having that village is different. It's a different setup than it was when our parents probably grew up. Because our parents literally had that village. Like, I remember I couldn't walk down the street and I did something wrong.
Listen, before I walked through the door, my parents knew what I did. Like, dang.
But to be honest, now you don't know who to trust as an adult. You don't know how they're going to respect your child and how they're going to treat your child, because yes, they're an adult, but they're not going to treat your child the way you're going to treat your child. And abuse is very high these days and times. So our village is a whole lot different, but it's who you interact with as a parent and as a person, because you know when you're interacting with people, everybody can't be in your circle and everybody can't go where you're going. So
very true.
Just FYI, it does take a village, and your dynamics may be different now. So I just want to thank you for coming and being on Whipping It with Wendy K.
I appreciate it. Anytime. Thank y'all.
And I'm going to drop all of your information below, and we're going to get that.